Frank, a man seeking a connection, follows directions from an unseen assistant named Coach to a dating hub. He enters a stylish restaurant and meets Amy, a woman also new to the system. Both are nervous about the experience overseen by Coach, which is designed to determine compatibility. They share a meal, awkwardly navigate the experience, and try each other's food. They learn they have the limited time of 12 hours together. They are then transported in a small three-wheeled vehicle to a modern house where they will spend the remainder of their allotted time. Inside, they explore the house and use their devices to inquire about the expected nature of their interaction. Frank and Amy lie on the bed, discussing the nature of relationships and the concept of option paralysis. As their 12 hours draw to a close, Amy admits that if given the choice again, she might not have agreed to be paired with Frank. After their time expires, they part ways. Simultaneously, Amy is also set to begin another relationship after another woman throws her device. Afterwards, Frank is immediately approached by Nicola, who physically resembles Amy, signaling the start of another pairing. Frank and Amy, initially matched by a relationship system, struggle with intimacy as Amy expresses dissatisfaction during their encounter. Afterward, Amy abruptly leaves Frank in bed. Both attend a wedding where they observe other couples who met through the system, and Frank and Amy later reconnect. A shared garlic-dipped appetizer leads to an awkward exchange. They're formally introduced by Amy to Lenny, after which Frank and Amy find themselves back in a room together, but their allotted time expires and Amy is whisked away. However, during a new pairing, Amy realizes something is amiss and removes her matching device in a pool, discovering the system is already assigning her another partner. Later, Amy and Frank encounter each other in a lounge and acknowledge their repeated matching. Amy reveals her detached perspective on the system, likening it to a meaningless cycle of sexual encounters. They meet again at a restaurant, where they discuss and reaffirm their decision to disregard expiration dates. A coach figure suggests Amy is Frank's ideal match. At a scenic overlook, Amy expresses her distrust of the system and its manipulation of individuals to accept their perfect match, suggesting their current reality might be a simulation. Frank reveals his theory that the system knows everything through their devices, even their innermost thoughts, which Amy playfully suggests makes their conversation another simulation. They share a laugh, and Frank jokingly says he might be programmed to leave, which Amy seems to accept as she walks away. The scene cuts to a montage of intimate moments between Amy and Frank, lying together, kissing and relaxing in a bathtub. Frank secretly consults Coach on his device, inquiring about their expiration date. The system warns him against backing out, but reveals that Frank's one-sided conversations with Amy have destabilized and shortened their relationship length to 18 months, which frustrates Frank. Desperate, Frank repeatedly tries to reverse the recalculation, begging Coach to stop the time from shortening further. Amy finds Frank looking out a window, and he assures her he's fine, though she's clearly concerned. By a lake, their attempts at normalcy are interrupted when Amy notices Frank checking his device again. Amy confronts Frank, who admits he looked at something and the timer is going down, blaming an unknown event. The argument escalates as Amy accuses Frank of breaking their agreement and ruining their time together, now only an hour, and is furious that he kept it from her. Frank defends his actions, confessing he genuinely likes her and didn't want their connection to feel artificial. Frank tries to convince Amy they can fight the system, but Amy is doubtful. Frank, alone with his device, is informed by Coach that his reaction to the impending termination will be used to refine his profile for his true match, which he dismisses sarcastically. Devastated and crying, Frank is reminded by the device that failure to comply will result in banishment. The video then shifts to a series of brief, disconnected scenes. A man eating, Amy on a couch, Frank walking in a park, Amy in bed with someone else, a man in a tub, Frank playing squash, a close-up of Amy's face, and Amy watching someone sleep. Frank has sex with a woman named Nicola. Amy skips rocks in a body of water, then discovers on her device that it's time for her ultimate pairing. After choosing Frank for a final farewell, Amy jumps into the swimming pool with her device, triggering a series of events leading to her scheduled pairing. Frank and Amy kiss at the restaurant, but are interrupted when Frank's timer ends, leaving them only an hour and 24 seconds together. Frank reveals that Parent Day is scheduled for tomorrow, and insists he only wants to be with Amy, prompting Amy to question Frank's distrust of the system. They both struggle to remember their lives before the hub, leading Amy to believe that their situation is a test, and she asks Frank about their first night together, and his positive description reinforces her conviction that the system is trying to keep them apart. Amy proposes abandoning the system by going over the wall, and Frank agrees. As they leave, a system authority figure points a device at them, but the beam is blocked by a ring Amy is wearing. They navigate through a hallway filled with other couples and authority figures before emerging onto a skyway overlooking a walled city, where they join other rebellious couples and head towards the wall, where they find a ladder. They climb over the wall. Amy pulls off the screen, causing it to shatter, and they find themselves in a virtual representation with figures of people and floating counters.